What up? What up? It's RJ Fantasy Football Talk, and we are back another week. I tell you why we can miss no more weeks, y'all. We promise. Okay, it's football season. But I'm gonna try not to butcher this. Okay, so we're gonna do something here. I'm trying not to butcher it. We are sponsored by. So if y'all don't know, the third man and and our other friend Steve have their own show called Yes We Still Watch Wrestling. Um,
Hey,
so. They're going to be our sponsors for the season, which will be the same thing on their show. So we're just trying to show love to our brothers so we can help them out. They're going to help us out. And it's more of a family thing with us. So, that's all it is. And, we love them and we love their show. So it's same here. So, but yes, we're going to be sponsored by their show for the whole season. So,
I
so
am
man,
super duper impressed because in the history of life, you have never gotten that right. So
I know
I,
I
I
haven't.
know you was practicing
I
right in
was, I
front of your
was.
mirror trying to get this thing straight. So you pulled it off. We actually saw we'll be talking drafts all night. We had a weekend of drafts, Rodney and I, for the two leagues we're in. We do have some pictures to share with you, but I just realized that I did not get the download from our producer. She was sending them to me, and let's just say I had a crazy work week. Today was a crazy work day, so I didn't get the pictures, but we will share them with you. But we saw the third man while we were at in one of these drafts, and he clowned you a little bit uh, for not being able to say the name of the show.
You know what? I ain't even mad at that. He's supposed to clown me, but it's cool though, because at the end of the day, I was butchering their name. So, I mean, and again, they didn't butcher our name. Our name is easy to remember, but like, they didn't butcher our name, so it's cool. I'm not gonna butcher their name, but yes, they are gonna be the sponsors, just like
Yes.
they're gonna do it for us. So we just trying to look out for our people, and just do what we normally do, So
So if you still watch wrestling, look for them on Instagram, YouTube, and show
I
them
want to
some
say they're on
love.
Facebook too. They do have some stuff on Facebook, so
Yeah, my
just
my
go
my
check them out
yeah,
and
my
subscribe to their show and check them out.
my
You know,
Facebook presence has hit almost zero at this point. I used to
well,
check it a little bit more. I need to get back into that. Welcome,
yeah,
Orlando Lewis, to the show. Glad to have you here with us. I mentioned that we had our drafts this weekend. The Women's Fantasy Football League, who are frequent viewers of the show, they had their draft yesterday. And so let us know how you think you did. And hey, maybe we can give you a little rating on what we think of your team.
exactly.
So yeah,
Um, we got some news. It's been a lot of news, man. It's
there's
been a
been
lot of
tons
news,
of
man.
news.
Ton of news. It's a lot of news on my end, man. Lord have mercy. It's a lot of news, but we gonna talk. We gonna. So now we got to talk about the 49ers owners
That's
situation, but we have to be very
we,
careful how we talk about this. In other words,
yeah, it's a sensitive subject, and
yes.
I'm told the women's draft was Monday.
Oh, okay.
Isn't today Tuesday? No, today's Wednesday. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of them
It's for,
days.
again, if as mentioned at the top of the show, I have absolutely no clue what's going on. It's been a rough week. So yeah, that was Monday. So let us know. Welcome Anita Bracy to the show and Lewis Bracy to the show. So we got the whole
Mhm.
Bracy clan almost coming in. So okay, I messed up the draft date, but I do see a comment that Nita says she had a horrible draft. And she's going,
Eh,
she says, by ESPN. So I'm assuming that's talking about the grades.
the great. Don't
Look,
pay them no mind.
those
Please
grades
don't.
are
Don't
the
mean nothing.
absolute worst. Sometimes I prefer to have a bad grade with ESPN or Yahoo or whoever's doing the grading system because I find that the teams with like a C are probably the best teams. The teams with A's aren't as good as they look. The teams with Fs aren't as bad as they look. So,
But you know what I figured out though?
what did you figure out?
I'm be honest with you, man, because I was putting the teams in Sunday, and they have this thing where you got to put the order of where the
Yeah.
pre-draft order. You have to put that order in and then start actually putting the name in. So I did it for True Warriors, but I forgot to do it for Barbershop.
Okay.
So I got a grade of an F. But in the thing it
Everyone got
said,
an F in that joker.
but look,
Like
I'm
there
gonna tell
was,
you
I
why.
think there was like two A's and everyone else had like I think it was
I'm
a
gonna tell
D
you
and everyone else
why,
had an F.
right?
Yeah, what happened?
It so when I looked at it, it said Silent Killers, your grade is a F. You were picking from the number two spot, so your draft was bad from the number two spot. So what I did, I was
Right.
like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't reorganize the list of where people were drafting it. So
Okay.
that's why it came out that way. Now I did True Warriors like that, but I didn't do Barbershop like that. And I was like, oh, now that makes sense because it's I was picking two, and I really wasn't picking two, I was picking eight. So it seemed like the roster I picked was from the two spot.
Okay.
Really, it wasn't from there. So if you got a F, I wouldn't even pay no mind because it don't make sense really. Because
I
I
see.
skip past that most of the time and I just put the names in and I don't even think about that. But really, like for her comment, she said her draft was horrible. I wouldn't even pay no mind because most of the time
Okay.
they're going off of a
How,
standard league
how
point
close they go
system.
back? How close do you follow our pre rankings? So the further
Yes.
you're off from their typically terrible pre rankings, the worse you do. So if you follow it close, if you let auto draft do your whole draft, you get a really good grade, but your team might
Mm-hmm.
not be so good. So uh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I see some comments on our 49er subject we're about to get on. Let's see how
Yeah.
closely we can walk this line.
Oh, we gotta walk this
We
line.
gotta walk the
Man.
line right. It's a family show, so we want
Yeah,
to tell
we
the
gotta walk the
story,
line.
but it
Yeah,
ain't family friendly. Welcome,
yeah.
caller, to the show. Good to have you with us too. So, it's your team. You get us started with it.
So I'm gonna say this. So this is what happened. He got caught doing something
Uh
for some
huh.
money. And so how it all I'm really trying to stay close to this line, bro, without really.
Well, we can say it's public news, so we can say what he was arrested because he was caught with a prostitute
Yes,
in a trailer park. And if you
yes.
read in the comments, you can see he paid $140 for this
So he
prostitute.
paid $140,
And so there we
but
go.
he brought $160
Right.
to pay her extra. And I think he's been recently divorced of his wife for 17 years.
Uh,
So he just got recently divorced and he moved back actually to Ohio. He
yeah.
doesn't live in San Francisco or California anymore.
Right.
So he basically is a resident of Ohio now. And I guess the man is going through some stuff we don't know, but we're gonna pray that he's all right. Um, but at the end of the day, he did some stuff and he got caught. And if you the body cam came out today, I don't know if you've seen
Yeah.
it.
I have not
The
seen the body cam.
I'm gonna send you the body cam. The body
Okay.
cam is crazy. Yeah, the body cam came out, and the
All
cops
right.
was like, he's a real estate guy, so they didn't even know who he
Who he
was.
was? Right. I'll be
They
honest with
just
you. I
say
didn't know when he said that. I said I have no idea who the owner. It's not like he's Al Davis, who's the
yeah
greatest, or well,
who he
known
was when
owner.
they said it. So he was
Yeah.
like, they say he's a real estate guy. He
Right.
makes a lot of money. And they was like, well, it's crazy that these guys with all this money they do stuff stupid like this, where they
Right.
could have did other things and did it another way. So I don't know what's physically going on, but I'm gonna leave it at that. Really, what I will say is this: per as far as the organization, and I want to tie this into Shanahan's accident. I want to tie
Right.
this into how Brandon Ayuk has been treated per the team. So if
Mm-hmm.
we live by the standard of the gold standard of we try not to hire, we try not to sign felony players from the draft or guys that's had records or things. We try to walk that line. But when you got your coach and your owner who gets into one almost killed somebody in himself,
Yeah.
and the other one is out here prostituting, it's like how can you hold Brandon Ayuk hostage because
Right.
he doesn't like the coach or the team anymore? It's like you can't play one, can't play, you can't be happy, or I'm sorry, you can't do it your way for what you
Yeah.
want to do when you get in trouble, but you can't do it another way for him. It's all got to be the same, and I just don't understand that. So at the end of the day, him
Mm-hmm.
going through all this now, I will say he may get suspended. I don't know if he's gonna get suspended, but
The
I know they trying to compare it to
crap.
Kraft.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was say.
he was fined like $5 million, and I don't know if they lost draft picks or what, but I don't think he got suspended
Yeah, I
though.
don't
Did he get
remember him
suspended?
being suspended, but
So
we can look it up, or our producer maybe look it up to see what his exact penalty was. But I'm with you. Leadership comes from the top, and if you're
hmm
expecting your players to have a certain level of decorum, if you will, of behavior, so they don't tarnish the shield, so they don't tarnish your franchise, you
Yep.
can't have a lower expectation for yourself. So I'm with you. Brandon Ayuk is in the doghouse, and up until now, I would say maybe deservedly so because some of his stuff was detrimental to the team. However, like
I
you
would say
said,
that.
if the head coach and the owner are actually committing crimes,
That
then
part, yeah.
I'm sorry, you've lost all ability. I can't be a teacher in a classroom and expect my students not to curse if I'm up in front of them
Person.
cursing all the time. You got to model the behavior you want to see, and you have a higher level of expectations
And
you're
I
supposed to
feel
have.
and I feel and we're gonna talk about Deshaun
And I see
Watson
that.
too.
Yeah, I'm about to say Deshaun's coming up.
Deshaun is coming up, so stay here.
Yeah,
But I feel like they lose credibility as far as to even at this point to even say, Brandon, we're never gonna release you because you went on the internet and you tarnished our
yeah,
name and you talked bad about us, but you tarnished the team because first of all, with Shanahan lied and said
right.
it wasn't his fault at first, but then when the
Then it
truth
came
started to
out.
come out, he tried to say, well, it was my fault and I did it. But then he lied and said, well, I dropped my phone and I wanted to pick it up when it really wasn't the case, when it was an auto drive. And he tried to blame Tesla
Mm-hmm.
of all places about it was an auto drive and he just wasn't. So somebody was lying. So obviously the truth would never come
Yeah,
out there. So my thing is this, your credibility has been shot when it comes to you trying to chastise somebody else on your team when you did wrong. And then the owner comes out and does this, you
yeah,
can't even hold him accountable because he didn't do anything that was close to what either one of y'all did.
yeah.
That's what I don't understand. To me, I think that's the crazy about it. Crazy thing, for me. So I don't know.
Now, till they come under just what it wasn't a felony and all that. Hey, it's not even about that. But I get it. As far as I don't judge people as a general rule. So do whatever you do. However,
Mhm.
the hypocrisy is what I'm coming from. Like you can't say I expect a certain behavior from somebody where you're not living up to that same level of behavior yourself. And so
Well, and
that's
the thing is this: when he didn't even fight the charges,
yeah,
that's what he didn't even say. He didn't even plead not guilty. He was like, "I did it."
yeah.
So begging you. So, and I think he's trying to, and I could be wrong, but I
Mm-hmm.
think he's trying to use the power that he has because he has money to
Yeah.
say we gonna just sweep it under the
Oh
rug
yeah.
like
I mean,
nothing ever
Kraft
happened.
did the same thing. That he was never formally charged because you got that money. You can get away with a whole lot of things because that was
Hmm.
technically a prostitution sting itself in this
Yes.
massage parlor that Kraft was involved with. But hey, if you got enough money, you can have the right lawyer, and hey, it must be nice. But I don't expect owners or head coaches to pay stiff penalties because why would they? They make the rules, and Goodell is just going to basically do whatever they tell him to
Because
do.
he works
He
for
works
him.
for them
So basically,
exactly.
they
So
pay his salary, which
exactly,
that to me I feel like he should be isolated as
yeah,
not working for them but his own entity. if that makes sense. He should be
Hmm.
the commissioner, and that's it. He should not work for them. He should be able to be the
It should
middleman
be
for both
independent. Right.
for the players. So at the end of the day, I don't even think honestly like it's fair because
Uh,
even if you say we're gonna fine him $10 million, $10 million him is like $10. That's nothing. Like I just don't understand it. Like, but
yeah.
we'll see. So he was supposed to go to the owners meeting today, which he
Yeah.
didn't attend. Um, so they're speculating, and I don't know how true it is. Um, he should sell the team, but
Yeah.
who knows what he's gonna do with that? I mean,
Yeah. I don't see that one.
I mean,
But
I mean, the Lakers just did
I'm
it,
about to
but
say I
he,
didn't see the
I
Lakers
mean,
selling their team
the
either.
Lakers
So
just did it. So we'll see. They sold
yeah.
for $12 billion. So
But
who knows?
a lot of conversation going on about it. It was a crazy incident, but I will
Hmm.
agree with one thing in the comments: $140. You could have a much higher level. What happened to Heidi Fleiss? And people are like, "Come on,
Yeah,
I know you can afford more than going
yeah.
to the trailer park." That was my
They was
only real
the
issue with
trailer
that.
park though
I was
at
like, "At a
nine.
trailer park, and you the
It
owner."
was
You are, and
so
if you're an
early.
owner, you are by definition a billionaire. So that was the only really crazy part about it. Uh, but
And
hey,
he think the crazy part, right, is he thought
right?
he was slick. So, and when you see the video, you can be like, "Wow, that's crazy." He rented a car, so it wasn't his personal car.
Yeah, of
So
course
he
not.
rented a car to go there. And I'm like, this is crazy, man. You can't make
When
this
I
stuff
first
up.
saw it, I was like, "This is the crazy." You guys, now let's bring it back to actual football. This
Yeah,
offseason, between the injuries, the head coach, the
Brandon
owner
Ayuk.
now, Brandon Ayuk has been an issue the whole offseason. Are the 49ers toast? Do I need to just avoid drafting anybody on this team at this point?
Um, I don't see. I don't personally. I don't think we're gonna do well. Anyway, that's just. And I know people like, well, you're a Niners fan. You should have high
Right.
hopes. I'm a realist at the end of the day, and I see what's wrong with the team. We're
There's a lot
pretty old.
wrong.
We're the oldest team in the
Uh
league,
huh.
and when you think about a league where youth is actually recommended, so you want to get young over time, we're steady getting older by bringing in players that's older and also getting hurt.
Uh huh.
So I feel like younger, faster teams are going to beat us because we just at some point we gonna get injured. Some point we gonna get tired, and those 25-year-old running backs and cornerbacks and DNs, we just ain't gonna be able to keep up at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to let it go. At
Uh
some point, you
huh.
got to say, you know what? All right, we're gonna move forward with somebody else. We appreciate you being here. We will acknowledge you in the next 2, 3 years. You can come back anytime you want. It's just right now we got to move
Right.
forward. And I mean, that stars Trent Williams at 38. We should have got him rid of him years ago, at least 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But we're top heavy and we still paying the same core that hasn't won anything. That's the problem. But yeah,
So I interpret that as stay away from the 49ers. There you
I
go.
mean, I would
That,
say this.
I say,
Not really.
well,
If
we're
certain
gonna.
players are there, yes.
I say this about the 49ers players. Uh, we had, we mentioned at the top, we had a couple of drafts this weekend. We got another couple coming up. In fact, I saw in the chat I have one tomorrow. I have to be ready for. Uh, Comedy Club
Yeah.
League.
Oh yeah.
But the point being, a lot of the 49ers players I saw in the draft went a lot lower. Maybe not a lot,
Yes.
but they went lower than I was expecting. Even CMC in the draft
I,
we had this weekend
I got him.
was a little
That's
bit lower than I
that's the
expected.
story.
So,
So I was True Warriors.
uh,
And he was the only running back left, and I'm sitting in the back, so you know
right.
how I sit in the back. So, and I'm
Oh, we
looking at
got
my
the
list.
picture of you in your corner all by yourself. So,
So
yeah,
I love my corner,
I
y'all.
bothered you for one draft though.
Look, so I was like, I'm looking at my list, and I'm like, CMC's on the board. I said I really have to avoid him. Yeah, I get up, and Byron says, "Go ahead and do it, Rodney. You might as well."
Right.
I say, "Man, I can't, man. I can't." And I stood there. I was like, man, I can't draft this dude, man. I was really about to go Saquon over him. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get him, man. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna go, and I got him against my beliefs. and
Okay.
because he was the best,
Yeah, I mean,
he was the best running back available. So you had to go. And it's like, okay, I have to, but I was like, Saquon was still there. Should I go Saquon? Should I go CMC? And I was like, I want to go CMC because I talked so much junk that I would never draft him, but he was
uh
available.
huh.
So it's like, what I supposed to do? So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna let him ride. I'm gonna get him, and I'm gonna see what happens. So there we go. I got him. So,
You got him.
uh,
I've mentioned many times this offseason, I don't draft CMC, and it's not because I don't like him. It's just because I know I am a jinx for him. But even I almost drafted CMC in the Gridiron League because I'm sitting there watching the
he
rounds
kept
go back.
falling.
And now, for those that don't know, welcome Captain Braces to the show. Good to have you here with us. For those that don't know, this particular leagues to draft this past, we got 2 quarterback leagues, and they're high quarterback points. So quarterbacks typically go the first 2 rounds. You'll have a sprinkling of a skill player, or running back, or wide receiver in there. But long story short, we got past those 2 rounds, and CMC was still there, and we went through round 3, nothing. Went to round 4, and I was like, okay, something is going wrong. CMC is still there, and I was this close. I was going up to the board, but fortunately for me, and fortunately for Christian McCaffrey, the person right in front of me ended up drafting him. So I spared CMC because if I had drafted him, I'm trying to tell you right now, the season would have been over for the 49ers. They think they got trouble now with all the stuff in the news. If I had actually pulled the trigger and drafted CMC, yeah, you can count the whole
Because
season
I
over.
remember you doing. I was like, because I think it was Curtis, and Curtis when they got him, I think, and you was like, man,
Oh
you
no, it was
saved me
Carl.
from getting.
It was Carl.
It
It
was
was Carl.
Carl. Oh
Yeah,
no,
it was
either
Carl
Curtis
who
or
did it.
Carl. He was like, you saved me from getting them, man. I know.
Yeah.
I was like,
Good.
you saved because I had to make a decision. I don't know which one I wanted to go. I was like, oh Lord,
I
have
didn't want
mercy.
to do it, but it's like it's just too tempting at that point. So
Yeah,
I didn't have I didn't feel a choice. I was like, I guess I got to do it. So I was gonna apologize to you, and I was gonna apologize to all our 49ers fans in the league. But yeah, y'all almost saw your boys' season over very early
Purdy,
because
Purdy fell. Purdy
yeah,
fell pretty low. I think
yeah,
Purdy went the second round, maybe 15,
yeah,
16, somewhere around there. He went pretty low.
yeah,
Which I won't grabbing him, but I think last year people went high for Purdy. And this
yeah.
year Mike Evans didn't go to like the sixth
Oh,
or seventh round.
I'm looking at it. You were actually right. It was Curtis that drafted. I
I
thought it was
know
Carl.
it's
You're right. Carl
okay.
drafted
Because
me.
I remember the
Carl drafted after
conversation.
me in that round. Yeah, it was Curtis. It was Curtis.
Yeah. Because I remember the conversation y'all had, whoever
Yeah,
it was. And I was like, because you was like, man, you saved me because he went
yeah.
up and
They
got
were
him.
both right in front and behind me in the draft, and I was mad at both of them many times
Uh,
in those drafts. So
yeah, that's what
CMC and
happened.
say, but I got Derrick Henry as a result. So I'm
Nothing wrong with that.
that's a great consolation prize. In fact,
You
it's
ain't lying.
probably better. At least
Probably, yeah.
with my history, it's better. So
Well, I hope CMC stay healthy, bro. I do. Just
he should. I didn't draft him, so he should be good. Well, I don't
I
know.
hope he stay healthy.
Hold on. I've had 4 drafts so far, so I got 4 or 5. I don't remember,
Well,
but I've got several to go. So he's not completely out of the woods yet, but
I know you got at
I
least two.
I think he should. Oh, I've got more. I've got 2 just this week. So yeah,
Well, we got. I
actually,
know we got one more to
I've
go,
got the
right?
comedy club tomorrow. I've got the the
Church League.
SMFL
Hmm.
is coming up. I've got a
You have
new
like eight
league
leagues,
I'm
ain't you?
in. I'm
Eight.
in 10. I'm in 10.
Oh gosh, I'm in six. I got
Yeah.
two more left, and I'm done. I'm done after that. So
Yeah.
I got sent. Somebody invited me to one, but I ain't even pay attention to it because
Oh, I
I ain't
got a
trying to do it.
defensive league that's I think Labor Day, but another league I'm in, Gentlemen's Club, with our friend Clint. He drops to the gridiron with us. I
Yeah,
think that might be Saturday.
she said you
I
got
should
five more.
I should write the Sydney said that's I saw 5. I said I didn't know what 5 meant.
So you got five more.
I thought it was Jalen Hurts coming up on our show again because he heard me
Yeah,
use his number 5 too many times last week.
yeah,
So
you got five more. So
all right, so I
got
got
a
5.
lot.
So
We got a lot
I
to
got a
talk
lot.
about.
I got a lot. So CMC should be
Yeah.
good. Like I said, we're talking drafts. So those that have had their drafts, and I know the Women's Fantasy Football League had theirs. So let us know how you think you did in your draft. If you want to share who you drafted and any particular players you like, didn't like, let us know. But before we get to that, we still didn't quite finish the NFL news because we promised a Deshaun Watson teaser at the beginning. For those that don't know, there was an ugly press conference that happened,
Bro, that
and we
was
were talking
crazy.
about that was Sunday, I think we were talking about.
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking
Hmm.
about that press conference and how bad Deshaun Watson played, and then the very next day,
He
Monte
get named the
announces
starter.
he's named the starter. What do you think about the move?
It's a money thing.
Yeah,
It's definitely a money thing. They owe him 40. I mean, I was, I mean, I've been in conversation with a few people about it,
right,
and I tell you, I'm gonna read something. Wait a minute. He's owed so much money.
right.
They had to start him.
Yeah.
It's insane how much money they owe him, bro. It's crazy to me. So basically, if the Browns would have cut him today,
Uh huh.
like to any point this year, they will face a total of $127 million in total dead money. So in terms, when you say dead money, like a dead
Mm-hmm.
cap, you know what that means, but I'm gonna explain to the people. So if they were to cut him tomorrow, and basically that $127
Mm-hmm.
million goes on their cap as a actual price. So
Right.
they would be negative $127 million. That means basically they can't sign anybody because they're over the dead
Right.
cap. Um, Even if they were to trade him,
Yeah.
they would still owe him money, which is insane. So he's guaranteed $46 million this year alone. So even if he got hurt
Mm-hmm.
or wasn't the starter, he would still get $46 million. So I think what happened was Todd Monken knew coming in, taking his job, and I'm pretty sure it was said to him, hey, Deshaun is owed this amount of money. We can't do it because it's this thing called kicking it down the road or
Yeah.
kicking the can down the road.
Mm-hmm.
What they did was they kicked the can down the road on Deshaun Watson's contract 3 years in a row. So basically, when you kick it down the road, he's guaranteed to get that money because all you're doing is kick his salary down year after year after year.
Right.
So they kicked it down so far they can't even get rid of him. So he has to play this year to finish out the contract, which is the $46 million.
Right.
But if he wouldn't have started and sat on the bench, he would have been wasted $46 million. But
Well,
I think the problem they
I'm
have is this.
I'm gonna preview them and say it's still gonna be a waste of $46 million
Oh, of course.
because I'm look. It's not bold predictions, and I don't even think it's predicting very bold. But Shador Sanders will be the starter before the season is over. But keep going.
Well, out. This is what I think.
Yeah.
Again, and I think this is not a Todd Monken's call, even
Right.
though he's gonna take the blame for it because he's the coach. But I
That's
think this is an
it's
ownership
an
call
ownership call.
because
Yeah.
when you say, okay, I paid you $230 million guaranteed over 5 years, 2 out of those years you were hurt. The other year you played 7 games and you averaged 155 yards. You were sacked 33 times and you ended with a 5 game losing streak. That is not worth $230 million
No.
by a long stretch. So, and then you have to realize
Yeah.
he's trying to get some of his money back. He's trying to recruit some of his money, but it's gonna backfire
Yeah.
because all it's gonna take now. The thing is, Todd Monken said, "Well, the first 2 games, I feel like we need a veteran to start to get this team going." Now, the
Okay.
first 2 games are on the road,
Mm-hmm.
so again, he gonna be all right on the road because nobody's gonna boo him on the road. But as soon as he get home
Ain't that crazy?
in week 3, he's gonna
Right.
get booed. And for a guy who and you can go look at
Yeah.
that post game conference. I
Yeah.
mean, that post game interview
Mm-hmm.
that he had, and he basically said that the fans was booing
He
him,
basically said the
and
fans suck.
yes,
That
the
yeah.
fans was booing him, and it wasn't about football; it was personal, and
Yeah.
like I've been telling people, they're always whatever what he did
Mm-hmm.
is always gonna come up no matter what.
Yeah.
And Cleveland knows that. I don't care if you gotta say, look, you know what? You should have did the whole thing they did to Russell Wilson in Denver. You should
Mm-hmm.
have stretched that over 4 years and just let him go and
Mm-hmm.
just bite the bullet at that point. But you wanna, I guess they don't have the money to do it, or they don't want to put that money out there to do that. It just, I would have did it just to get rid of them, because the thing
They
is,
need him gone. Yeah.
fans in Cleveland say, look, we ain't gonna show up.
Yeah.
And somebody was trying to explain to me, well, they gonna show up because they bought tickets. No, they not, bro. Like, I go to games all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I tell you this: I went to Tampa 2 3 years ago. Well, before they had Tom Brady, nobody was there.
Uh-huh.
We moved down some seats. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
You could tell if anybody's showing up by 10 minutes before the first quarter started, kickoff, and if nobody showed, half the stadium was empty. Go to
Mm-hmm.
Washington, 30, like before Jaden Daniels got there, it was 70% away team, 30% home team.
Yeah.
Nobody showed up from that fan base. So the problem with Cleveland is nobody has to show up.
I
And then
wouldn't.
what?
I mean,
I
one,
wouldn't either.
the team is terrible. Deshaun Watson has been, and that's why I said it's an easy call. He's not going to be the quarterback because literally the 5 years he's been, well, the 1 year he didn't play at all because he was not allowed to. But the
He
years
gets
that,
suspended for 11
yeah,
games.
but the years that he has played,
It's been
and the
terrible.
Browns, the backup has outperformed him every single year. I do not expect that to be different this year. The craziest talk I heard this offseason was people saying if Deshaun Watson get to return to what he was in Houston, that's
It's not
too
gonna happen.
that's never gonna happen. He's not gonna be that
It's
dude.
gonna happen again.
Yeah. So
And it,
mm,
and the thing is with this, I would have did what Houston did. That last year when he was
yeah,
going through that court case in Houston, Houston paid him what, $10 million that year
yeah,
to ride the
to just
pine
yeah.
every single game. That's what I would have did, and I would have made him sit on the bench.
And
Like you, it's terrible.
going to the Raiders, they paid Derek Carr to just leave, and he wasn't even a problem himself. They were just
Nope.
ready to move on. So look, the money's been wasted. You gave that man 230 million guaranteed. You're gonna go down in history as absolutely the worst contract ever. But before we continue, we got a question. Um, Drake May, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook III, AJ Brown, Zay Flowers, Cortland Loveland, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jacoby Myers. Uh, don't know their grade, but what do you think about that squad? They're making the playoffs. That's a nice.
Make.
That's a nice team.
I mean, I would flip.
I know Drake May is your jam, but still,
No, no, no. I, mean,
aside from
I
that,
ain't.
that's a good
I'm
squad.
not. That's a good squad. I ain't mad at Drake May.
What you flipping?
Harrison,
Uh,
easy.
right. There's a lot of wide receivers up there, and you can only, I think, start two in that league. Maybe there's a flex. I'd have to
I mean, but
go
you
back and
starting
check this
AJ
out.
Brown and Zay Flowers anyway. But for me,
Yeah.
I would give Marlon Harrison is cool, and I know your mom did it because she's her legend. His dad is a legend with the Colts. She has that tie there, so I get it. I would I would see how that plays out with him over the first 3 4 games, because I he has this, and we was talking about that at the draft. He has
Yeah.
his he allergic to catching. Like, he don't want to catch the football.
Right.
And his route running ain't the best. So I think that's really is part of the problem with him. But I feel like he's he's big. He's 6'4", 6'5", somewhere around there. He's a big target. You have to get him the ball. Now it just depends on what he do. He might come out and do well, but I just don't know. I like Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
I think Jacoby Myers is going to actually end up being the number one receiver out there. I'm not a fan. I'm not saying I'm not a fan of Washington, but I'm not a believer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think I like your team. You should make the playoffs.
Yeah. That should definitely be a
Zay
playoff
Flowers
team.
will
I
get a
think.
lot of targets. AJ Brown will get a lot of targets, and you got you got the Drake made the AJ Brown
I know.
situation
I
going.
love the stack.
I love the stack. Stack is good.
Yeah.
Loveland is a good tight end. I like that. So not bad. Good roster. I mean, just I want to see a bench though. She says I didn't
Yeah, she
add a
didn't add the
bench.
bench.
Yeah. So I would like to see that, but it's not a bad team though. Just keep your eye on Marvin Harrison just to see
He's the biggest question mark. He's
question
another
mark.
player that I didn't pull the trigger on that I recall, but
Oh,
I
he set for a minute
but he
in
sat
our
for a
draft.
long time, and I looked
Yeah.
for a minute, and I was like, "Am I about to draft Marvin Harrison Jr.? Because I don't want to, but at the way he fell, to me, is worth the risk. Because
Yeah.
worst case scenario, you end up dropping him later. I if I didn't draft him till like round 10, I'm good with that. So
I mean, at that point, that's not a bad pick at round 10,
yeah.
but he gonna have to prove that he was actually. You took me off the screen. What you
I don't know what's
doing,
going on. My bad.
man? It's all good. You got to pull me back. Pull me
Yeah,
back some more.
yeah, we gonna fix it.
Yeah.
My fingers got carried away.
Oh no, it's all good. It happens. But yeah, it's not a bad team. You
Yeah,
just gotta just pay attention to him. I think he'll be all right. He's more of a wait and see for me this year,
yeah,
and I think he was good with Brissett. So that is a plus, but I don't know how well
right.
can that continue. And I think that quarterback situation is up in limbo, if you really ask me, because I think Carson Beck will play at some point this year, in my opinion. So
I would probably put money on that too. Not as much money as Shador Sanders, but I would put money on the Carson Beck
I think
situation too
Shador's playing
because
week 3. I
yeah,
think he comes in week 3,
just in
because
time
he
for
gonna
the
get.
fans to come to the games.
I mean, I
Yeah,
think he can get booed walking through the
I would
stadium.
be 100% not surprised if Deshaun Watson doesn't even want to have the starting job. He might
I
have
don't.
said all that stuff about the fans because he doesn't want to play, and he's just as shocked as we are that he got the starting job.
Well, I don't
His
see. I
heart's
don't.
not
I
in it
don't think.
anymore.
I don't think he want to play. I
Yeah,
think he's
he.
being.
Why
I
would
think
he?
he's being forced. I'm telling you, man. I have this weird feeling that he's being forced to play because the owner probably came to him and was like, "Look, man, I done paid you a lot of money, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still paying you a lot of money. I got to get something from you." And that was the conversation because when they said, okay, how did Shador take it? Oh, Shador was good about it. He didn't really fuss about it. He didn't really get upset. He was cool with it, da da da. And then it's weird, Shador not even
Right.
playing the last preseason game.
Yeah.
Which in turn, like if Shador is not the starter, why is he not playing the preseason game? I
Yeah.
think what they're doing is they know what they're doing. They know Deshaun going gonna
Suck
crap the
it up.
bed
Mm.
a little bit these first 2 games, and then they're gonna have that. I heard that he may game 2 he may get pulled. And
Would not.
Deshaun, I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised either, but
Wouldn't
we'll
be
see though.
surprised. We got my mom's rest of her team. We got the bench, but before we go there, did we
Hmm.
did that finish us off on?
Yep,
Okay.
that's it.
Well, before we go to the bench, we just got to correct something in here. There's some slander on the on fantasy football gods. I see mentioning God and Jesus don't care about your fantasy football team. Fantasy football is not about it. Fantasy football has its own set of deities. And if you pray to the fantasy football gods, the fantasy
Work for you.
football gods will work for you. So we will not disrespect the fantasy gods. All right, here's the
Exactly.
bench. Uh,
Well, let me say this
yeah.
because drafting is just only one part of what you got to go through.
Mm,
Actually, putting these guys in and letting them play. And I
uh,
tell you, fantasy football is like it's got to be like 20% luck or
20.
higher. It's
Okay,
probably higher than
like
that.
it's at least at the minimum is 50% luck.
It's got to be. It's a
Because
lot luck.
yeah,
There's a
because
lot of
one,
luck
you're just hoping your
involved.
players make it through the season healthy.
Part.
Yeah,
So you got it's a lot of luck involved when you say, you know what, I hope this player does well today and not get hurt, and still trying to get the backup. That's what I'm saying.
yeah. So here's the bench: Justin Herbert, Mark Andrews, J.K. Dobbins, Matthew Golden, Blake Corum. I've been drafting Blake Corum everywhere.
Yeah,
Y'all kicker Pinheiro, and
no,
Xavier Worthy.
I like that. I like your two quarterbacks. Mark
Now the
Andrews on
quarterbacks
the
are
tail end.
the quarterback is the best on the bench.
I feel like she got a lot of backups though. She
Yeah,
has no like when I draft, I try to at least
solid
get
starters on the bench.
solid starters on the bench that I know every week I can go to if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of Justin Herbert
Yeah.
and Mark Andrews, J.K. Dobbins, and
J.K. Dobbins is
Matthew
right.
Golden.
J.K. Dobbins is gonna ball out for a few weeks, and then he's gonna tear up his knee or something. And but
I mean,
but
is
for
he gonna
the
play like
but
that
for the
though? Or
Fivers, he did last year when he played when he's healthy. J.K. Dobbins is a beast at running back. He's just
yeah,
never healthy long.
I mean Matthew
No,
Golden is I think is
that's the
good, but we
question
don't
mark.
know.
No,
Matthew Golden is in a mix with a bunch of other receivers in Green Bay, so we
yeah,
don't know what he's gonna do. Now Xavier Worthy is actually not a bad pick because they don't have many receivers as it is, and I think between him and Rasheed Rice, both of them are going to get work. So I don't think that's an issue. So it may work for you.
yeah.
It may work for you. So
Depth might be a problem. I will say
yeah,
that, but there's some question marks that we'll have to wait until the games get played.
yeah,
When that Anita said she's not drafting AJ Brown, he's a snitch. What did he snitch? I don't remember that story. Uh,
I don't
but
either.
I will say I am drafting AJ Brown given the opportunity because I'm a big Drake May guy and I don't see anyone benefiting from Drake May touchdowns
Other
more than
than
AJ Brown.
J Brown. Yeah.
So
So what do you
uh,
so do you want to let's talk about
yeah,
do you feel comfortable talking about your draft?
oh yeah.
Um okay, all right. Um do you want me to pull
Hold
it
on,
up
wait.
for the people?
Well, I got one more news thing, but I don't want to do it now. We'll do it later. Uh,
Okay.
so let's
Do
talk
you
draft talk. Uh, we mentioned at the top of the show, Rodney. I had a couple of drafts this past weekend, and a couple more we're preparing for. So the question is, what is that?
I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna bring I'm gonna bring your team up. And I mean, let's just go over it. Let's just, will you win it? Will you think you could have won it? And do you? I mean, just how you feel
Gotcha.
about your team in general. So let's pull it up. Where you want to start it? Gridiron or barbershop?
Let's start it. Let's do them in order. Gridiron.
Okay. All right. Um, Smoking Joe. All right. So this is your team, and I'm gonna share the screen too. So everybody, this is his. Can you see my screen?
Everybody cannot see your screen.
I'm
Uh,
gonna share it. Hold on, I'm
Hold
gonna
on
share
for
it.
1 second. Well, it's not you.
No, I'm gonna share it. It's on my end.
No, I mean you're sharing fine. I'm just saying
Okay.
they can't see it for a different reason.
Okay, I got you.
But keep sharing and talk about it. We'll work on getting it up
So
for so people can see it.
his first. I mean, his quarterback. So now, mind y'all, this is the two quarterback league. So what we're showing y'all is if you see these two quarterbacks, they went probably because he was at 10, if I'm not mistaken. Were you at 10?
For the
Gridiron.
gridiron, I was number 5.
So you were at 5, and you got Golf and Trevor Lawrence. What would you, if you had a choice, would you change anything with that? Because I know you went Golf first. Would you go a different route, or now looking back in the draft and how it felt, or would you still go Golf?
Um, well, the plan, and Mike
Mhm.
Tyson famously said, "Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth."
That's true.
Uh, my plan at 5 was to get Drake May, and
Somebody took him from you.
the only person in the draft I thought that might take Drake May from me took Drake May from me, so I had to pivot. But I had Drake May as my first choice, but I did have Jared Goff as my second choice. So
Okay.
when he took Drake May, I immediately knew where I was going to go from there because we said on the show before, and not overrated, underrated show, that Jared Goff is a consistent top 10 and a lot of times even top 6 fantasy football uh, players. So not worried, no regrets. Much like Deshaun Watson has no regrets with anything in his life, I definitely have no regrets about um, drafting Jared Goff.
I mean, and I see you got Trevor Lawrence, and I think that's more on the. So if you have five, you have 15. Um, so if you had to go back, was Trevor Lawrence? I forgot what was there at 15.
Let's see.
I'm gonna pull this. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm gonna try to pull up this draft from my league.
So my first, just making sure we're on the same page. My first pick was Drake May. My second pick in that draft was Trevor Lawrence. So you're saying, is there a quarterback like only quarterback that was left that I may have drafted instead of Trevor Lawrence is Justin Herbert because I have question marks on every other quarterback that was out there because Baker
Hmm.
Mayfield was still out there. And I don't. I feel like Baker Mayfield's going to be good because he's playing to get money,
Yes,
and he should do well because he wants to prove that he deserves to get paid. Um, but without Mike Evans, I don't know how. And he didn't have Mike Evans for a bit or less, so he's probably going to be fine. But for me personally, if I had to pick between Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray was also available at that point, and you know I'm not picking Kyler Murray, so
we know you won't go in Kyler.
I definitely wasn't going Kyler. So it would have been a toss up between Trevor Lawrence and Baker Mayfield. And here's the main reason I chose Trevor.
Hmm.
Caleb Williams was gone. I feel like Trevor Lawrence and Caleb Williams are almost the same
Hmm.
talent level at quarterback. They finished like right with each other. And so
Okay.
since I didn't get Drake May, I had Jared Goff as my backup. If I didn't get Caleb Williams, I had Trevor Lawrence in my mind as his backup. So my first two quarterbacks, neither I actually intended, neither one I went in the draft intending as my first choices, but both of those as my backups, I'm very happy with. What do you think about your first two quarterbacks?
Oh, I feel like me picking at three. Um, and I feel like I understand certain people when you're in a draft and
Yeah,
you kind of know the league, you know, the landscape, you know, the scoring. So if you know all of this and you know certain players just have to go a certain order. So at
yeah,
one, he went Josh Allen. But if you look at the
yeah,
numbers from last year, Josh Allen finished seventh in our
yeah.
league.
Josh Allen is
He was
always a top choice, but he very rarely produces at that level. Yeah,
yes. So the with the number one pick, this guy should have went. If you're looking based on scoring and stats, he should have went Dak Prescott. But Dak Prescott did not go. He went Josh Allen. We're talking about a guy that's a Cowboys fan, by the way. He should
mm-hmm.
have went Dak, and then Josh Allen went two. I'm sitting at three, and I had an opportunity, and I'd grab Dak at three, and then I came back around. And what's funny is Patrick Mahomes felt to me at that point. What's it, Patrick Mahomes? I got Patrick Mahomes in a bunch of leagues this year, so I'm trying to make sure. No, I'm sorry. Baker Mayfield fell to me at 18, 17. So I feel like my two quarterbacks are going to be really good because one, Dak is throwing 60, 30, 40 times a game. Baker's playing for a contract. So I can't really be upset about it, honestly. So
Yeah,
I think it's good. I wouldn't change nothing. Wouldn't. So
I'm looking. Yeah, yeah, you did well. You did. What was your most surprising pick? A player that you picked up this weekend that you did not expect to actually draft.
Well, Christopher McCaffrey was one of them. CMC was
Yeah.
one. Um, yeah, Jonathan Taylor, which I didn't think I was gonna get. I got him in one league. I tried to get him in another league, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Um, so I just
So we're seeing your team now.
I would say Jonathan Taylor on this team was more surprising, and then I would say Dak because I didn't expect to get Dak at three,
Yeah.
honestly. But I think everybody else I kind of aimed to get going into the draft.
I,
Um,
I see
Tyler
one.
Warren was there late
Yeah.
for me.
I see one player on this team as you're scrolling through it, and you drafted him in several leagues. That's Rashid Shaheed. What do you
Yes.
what's the thing you like most about him? See if
So
it can help
when
out
it
people watching.
so with Shaheed, he does I would say a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about it, he's the number two receiver, he's the punt returner, he's the kick returner. So if you think about it's three players, if you're doing a draft again, and they do
Mm-hmm.
kick return yards, I'm gonna show you a number. So right here, he has 786 return yards. He had 687 yards receiving last year, and he had 59 receptions. So he finished 10th in receiving in our league last year.
Right.
And I got Turpin is another one. So if you're still drafting and you got a few left, I would try to go get a Turpin. Turpin is one, Dyke is one. So if they do return yards, with return yards, they count as so our
Mm.
league does a point every 10 yards. So when you take that into account for just like Turpin had 1869. So he had 1,869
Yeah.
yards, basically. That's like receiving yards in a sense. So
Yeah.
he pretty much had a bunch of yards, and Turpin finished number seven among the big time receivers.
The
So
that
those guys are what you look for.
that's a big tip for your drafts. If you still have those out there, know your league settings. Those guys won't really go in a lot of leagues if they
Hmm.
because some people don't do return yards. But if your league does, and you need to be aware of this before you walk into a draft, make sure that you check before and see where these kinds of guys. And you should be doing this also. You should be looking. You can do research and see how these guys finished in the rankings for each position last year, and you'll see you'll definitely find out whether you're other than looking at the settings, you'll see who gets credit for return yards such because that can help you out. I see a question: how do I keep up with 10 leagues? I don't keep up anymore. It's I, I was having a discussion with someone before. I don't know who's on my. We just drafted. I already forgot who I have on my teams. I don't need to know, and that's the thing about fantasy football.
The lineup to go.
Once you just check your lineups when you need to. Boom, boom, boom,
Hmm.
boom, boom. If you can play fantasy with one league, you can play fantasy with 10 or 20 because it's such a natural reaction. I'm just looking. How do they do? Bad, good, whatever. How's my bench? Who's available on free waivers? And I do this like 2 or 3 times a week. I just have a set schedule when I go through, and then I just go team, team, team. Sometimes I'm doing this Sunday straight before the games. That can be a bit challenging having 10 teams because you don't know sometimes if guys are going to play because they will. The teams don't have to announce um, who's sitting or who's starting until like an hour
Hmm.
before the game. And so sometimes when you have a whole bunch of teams getting through all of those with the hour that you have can be problematic. But I try to do as much of it during the week. So on Sunday, I just have to make little slight adjustments. So doing 10 is a challenge. But, like I said, if you can do one, you can do two. If you can do two, you can do four. If you can do four, you can do eight. If you did eight, might as well just go all round up to 10.
No,
Uh,
we're not doing that, but okay.
I,
Another tip is I would say this: if you're wherever you're picking at, I would say go for your guy at this point. Like for me, if I'm picking in the back and I know that guy's not coming back around to me, I'm going to get it. Like I went and got Shaheed a bunch this
Yeah,
weekend because I know Shaheed wasn't gonna be there. Somebody, it's one guy in our league that I know. We draft similar,
yeah.
so he's gonna take that guy. He got me for Turpin in one league, and I was hot about that. So he went and got him early because he knew I was coming to get him. So you just got to go get what you want. I wouldn't even wait around. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but please don't use the book. Please don't, because the book doesn't do anything for you. Um,
Well, I
because
would
at the end of the
say
day, that book,
don't rely on the book. You can do your
I
research
say
with
don't
it.
use the book.
You can read it and see what experts think. But at the end of the day, like Rodney says, don't let that be your end all say all. You better go with what you feel, uh, because the experts don't know your league. You know what I'm
They
saying?
don't.
So that book is useful, but where is it? Oh no, I didn't. I don't have. It's around here, but I've shown it many times. I have a notebook. I write.
I don't use it. I don't
I
use a book.
you use. You're on the computer.
I be
Um,
on computer all the
yeah,
time. So yeah,
but all I do is I do my research before and I write my own personal list of the top players. So Matthew Barry has his top 100. I have JJ's top 100, and
just they stop 100.
my 100 is better than his 100. I'm gonna tell you that right
Thing
now.
is because they don't know because any standard league, if you play in a standard league, it may help you because they go by standard rules. But if you play in a
Yeah,
league where it
yeah,
has
it won't
nothing to
work.
do with standard, it won't
Yeah,
work for you.
those lists are terrible for the gridiron and they'll work for the women's
Barbershop.
fantasy football league because that's more of a standard league. The
Yeah,
barbershop gridiron, yeah, useless. True warrior. Did you hear about the NFL ditching the Pro Bowl? I did see that.
I did
It's
see that.
gonna just be a not just a
Like an
one
award
day
show.
event. It's gonna be a whole hoorah. And my only comment about this whole whip they do that they're doing, they should just take that All Star weekend and put it in the middle of the season and have
Hmm.
everybody get a bye week at the same time and end the foolishness of bye weeks. I'm gonna start it again, saying this madness has got to stop because in the middle of the season Roger Goodell's gonna have like 20 teams all taking that bye week, and us fantasy people are gonna be suffering from that
Week
madness.
14.
So if we're
Week
done with
14 is
yeah yeah
when they start putting them bye
uh,
weeks in.
so if we're
That's
done with the
terrible.
Pro Bowl, let's just have All Star Weekend like literally every other major sport does.
Yep. And like the NBA and hockey does it, baseball does
Yeah,
it, and just go from there. But I don't really care because don't nobody do nothing. It ain't like the old Pro Bowl where they actually used to
yeah,
tackle.
no one
The
cares.
most memorable one was when Sean Taylor killed the punter. So they don't do that anymore. So to me, it's a glorified like flag football game.
I
So
mean,
I
that's
think
literally what it
just do,
is. Yeah,
and I will say it will help, like because now you don't have to sub in players because they don't want to play. So the original players that actually made the Pro Bowl are going to get recognized instead of the sub. So that's a good thing about it. So again, I'm just saying, probably got a question.
all right. What you got? What,
She said, "Will we start Terry McLaurin or Abuka? Or would you start Terry McLaurin over Abuka?" No, I'm
nope.
starting Abuka over Terry McLaurin.
I'm going with youth on Abuka's side
Yep,
because Terry was hurt a lot last year, and Terry's one of those. He went very low compared to what
very
he
very low.
normally goes.
Gee,
You got him at the what
12th.
blue light special, if you will,
Well,
for Terry McLaurin this year because
yeah,
he's coming off injuries, and let's just
that
face it,
team is terrible.
that whole wide receiving crew is
It's
old.
not good.
Like they're
Mm-mm.
old, and I'm not saying they're done for, because I might pick up a Stephon Diggs at the very end of a
Mm,
draft, maybe
India,
at the end. But I don't think that wide receiving crew is good. Ibuka has showed us last year when he was really supposed to be like maybe the third option on the team,
he was
and
number
he was
one.
number one. Exactly. So now
He
this
was
year he is
working.
officially number one,
Yep.
and I expect him to live up to that hype. So I'm a Buka all day. I'm mad
and
I
I
don't
think
have Ibuka anywhere.
I got him in
He was
like two
too good
leagues.
last year. I had him in like 3 leagues last year. I don't have
I
him
got him.
anywhere so far.
Like, I snatched him up over a
Yeah,
lot of players. Like CD fell to me, which I think is crazy. CD fell. I think they're looking at the injury or something like that. They
yeah.
got to be because
I
CD
did get
fell.
CD down, and I'm happy
I
about
got
that.
CD in two. I got
Yeah,
CD in
I
two
got
leagues.
him in one.
So I'm happy about that. I can't be mad about that. So I think all in all, I really drafted well, honestly, this weekend. I
Like
know I
you would
got
ever think otherwise.
no, I've had one bad draft in my life.
I don't
So
know if you didn't have another bad draft this year. I told you at that draft, you drafted youngsters, like a lot of them.
no, I did not. I
Yes.
drafted like three of them, and that's it. And it depends. They may make the roster. I may cut them. Who knows? Um, I'm keeping Tate. Carter Tate, I'm gonna keep. Carla, no, I will not get rid of. I wouldn't get rid of him. I would keep him on the bench.
Oh yeah, no, no,
So
no.
you don't get rid of him, no.
He's
Um,
going to be a good bye week filler, and who knows? Maybe if Jaden Daniels is coming back strong from his injury, maybe Terry has another really good year in him. He's been up until last year, he was a guaranteed 1,000 yard receiver.
very
I
much.
don't give up on that chance. I don't start him over Abuka, but I
No,
do keep him on the squad, 100%.
no. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
keep going.
start. Connell Tate is gonna be on the team.
Yo, that well, yeah,
Boston, Denzel Boston is gonna probably be on the team. I'm just not gonna play him
okay,
for the next 2 weeks. Well, when the
okay.
season starts, I'm not playing him. I'm gonna wait till like Shador be in there at some point, week 3, 4, 5, whatever. So
I won't count Shador against you as a young player, but
I don't. I mean, but I did Shador only because I did that because the guy Moon had when they got Deshaun, and he was banking on keeping Deshaun for 4 weeks and then trying to slide the Shador in there.
yeah.
And I killed his whole dream with that. And I was like, that's not gonna happen. So
That was the barbershop league, and that league frustrated me because I told everybody last week that if you're in the right spot, getting two quarterbacks for the same team that are handcuffs is potential
how much?
gold. I
Hmm.
didn't think I was going to get Jacoby Brissett because I know he's too good to have, even though he might lose that job to Carson Beck. I knew he was going to go early, but the barbershop surprised me because you got Jacoby Brissett and Carson Beck. You got
Hmm.
Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza. You got Deshaun Watson and Shador for however long until Deshaun Watson's ready to go,
Yeah,
get his massage tables out or do whatever he does. No judgment
whatever
here.
he does.
You got Tua and Penix. I just knew I was going to get one of those combinations because I was at the 10 spot. So I was like, oh, I'm
You're
about
not
to
gonna do
go
it.
back, back. Everybody was grabbing one of those. I thought they were going to, because the day before in the gridiron, all of those players except for Brissett went really, really late because, you don't know who you're going to get and you don't have, like you said, you grab one, someone else is going to grab the other
Another one,
and
yeah.
screw you over. So I was like, well, the same thing's going to happen Sunday. And it did not. People were grabbing one or the other of those quarterbacks really early. So by the time I was at a place where I wanted to do my 2-for-1, I was like, well, now I'm not going to get two. So y'all messed up my. I actually pulled the producer to the side and told her my strategy. Had her record it because I knew I was going to pull off this great strategy. I was going to come in today and tell you guys about my genius, and y'all ruined it. I was like,
I just think I
Tua
don't
went
know, man.
one in particular. Tua went super early in that draft.
It went
To
way too early.
way too
And
early.
bro, I was telling you, I was in. Matter of fact, it was gridiron, and I went up to the sheet, and I was like, "Yo, it's a quarterback now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quarterback now."
Tua went super. Tua didn't go to probably was it? I should know because I drafted them in
Yeah,
one of the
you draft.
leagues, but
You
it was
you
like
should have got
round
you should have
11 or
Penix.
so. Yeah,
You should have got Penix. I would have got Penix right after
right
because
after that.
as we were drafting, people was there like, "Yo, Penix just got cleared for
Mm-hmm.
11 on 11s. He's good to go." And I was like, "Oh Lord." And then I looked down at the paper and I'm like, Penix still sitting there.
Yeah.
And I walked back and then somebody
Then
went and
someone
grabbed
jumped
Penix. I
in.
was like, you jerk. I was like, really? This is what we do? I was like, man, whatever, man. But that's why I was like, Moon went to go get Deshaun first, and I was like, you know what? I'm going against Shador
Yeah.
because I did something I normally don't even do. I went and got his kicker first, and
Yeah,
like
you went super early on. You did two things to surprise me. Before I tell you those two, one of them was the kicker. Before I go to the other one, Carla has another question. You like Isaiah Likely over Sadiq? I'm assuming.
yes, I do.
Yeah, Sadiq is a rookie with the Jets at
Yeah,
tight
now they,
end, and I have
I
him
mean,
in a dynasty league, and I'm expecting big things for him. I would not expect so many great things in a redraft league. For me,
mm,
Sadiq is a bye week fill in, probably.
yeah,
Now he
that,
might surprise everybody
he
like
got
Kyle
to
Pitt,
compete.
like yeah, like Kyle Pitts was his rookie year. He
Mhm.
produced. It was actually his best season for fantasy purposes. Sadiq is a guy who could give that kind of performance, but I would more so bet on Isaiah Likely
Oh,
to do
likely
well.
gonna get off
Yeah,
this year. Likely gonna get a lot of work. And Sadiq got Mason out there also,
yeah,
who are gonna be kind of in his way of
he'll
getting
be in the way
any
a
type
bit.
of play
Yeah,
right now. So likely is the one. Likely is gonna get a lot of catches because Jackson Dart like throwing to the tight end.
mm,
So he gonna get likely involved a whole lot. And I hope they use him more like he should be used. I would break him out to that split end or that I would definitely put him in the slot a little bit
yeah.
just to kind of get him against a mismatch. But definitely it would work though if you would do it like that. So, but it's two things I did.
I
I
keep
went
messing with
a
your stuff.
I went a kicker early, and I did that on purpose
Uh huh.
because I thought about doing it a little bit earlier, around about round 10, but I was like, I'm gonna wait. But I think round 12 is when I really pulled the trigger to go get him. And he was like, really? You just stole my kicker? But the kicker I got was one of the best kickers in the league, and he is gonna score a bunch of points.
Brandon
So
Aubrey.
Brandon Arby, and I got him in two leagues. So I was like,
Okay.
I'm stacking my kickers up this year, and I think I went rookie like I normally
That's
don't
just,
go rookies. So we'll see. We'll see how
and
that
there
works.
was one other thing you did that surprised me. Tell the audience what you think of Daniel Jones.
Oh, I went and got Daniel Jones
I
a
know.
few times, a few
as,
times,
as
a
many
few times.
times as many times as I try to go Danny Dimes or Indiana Jones, and you're like, no, no, no. You went with Indiana.
Well, I have a reason for that.
Okay.
Because I got Patrick Mahomes in two leagues,
Okay.
and the two leagues I got him in, I just don't know. They saying he should be all right for week one.
But
Um, but it's a toss up right now, so they don't know. So I was like, I got to get me a quarterback in there that I know that's gonna start. He's gonna be
okay.
quality. He's gonna be good. I was like, so I'm gonna go get, and I had a choice between him, Bryce Young, and some other players, and I was like, I'm gonna go get Danny Dimes to be my third quarterback. And I got him in. I think I got him in three leagues, to be honest with you. I ain't gonna hold you. I got him in two True Warriors too.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't mad about it. So I'd rather honestly be safe than sorry, and I rode Danny Dimes and just go from there. But he wasn't my choice walking in. It was just something I did. I'm,
I
I ain't
think
mad about it.
I think he's winning you over. You called him
I
Danny.
ain't saying all.
You called him Danny Dimes twice in the
He
same
on the
segment.
he on the team. He on the team. This year. I got to show him some love.
He your guy
He on the
now.
roster this year.
Yeah, I always love Danny Dimes until he does something
Uh,
wrong, and then
I think
yeah,
Danny Dimes plays well with a great running back, which he
yeah,
has at
he
the
has
moment
that
in
in
Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor.
Taylor.
So I think it's a really great pickup. So I'm hoping not to have to play him week one. Hopefully
Yeah.
Mahomes is ready to roll. But I was speaking of Mahomes. What do you expect from Mahomes this
I,
year? Because I got him as a two, and I feel like as a two, if I can get 4,000 from him, I think I'm successful. That's a good combination, right?
4,000 is successful as a one, right? So,
Yeah,
but do
yeah.
I? The question is, do I expect that from him? And by the way, we got a message that we should all be praying because there's already 56 players. We touched a little bit on that last week.
Yeah,
The amount of hurt players is crazy, and
it's
I know
crazy.
Rodney's already praying because half of that 56 is on his own team.
That's
So,
true. So
so yeah,
yeah, we definitely ran up here. So
uh,
yeah, I'm
so
hoping for 1,000 yards,
so
bro. If I can get it,
4,000. I say this: if Patrick Mahomes does indeed start Week 1, 4,000 is more than possible. It's pretty much what
okay,
you would expect for someone like him. The only and we saw Patrick Mahomes fall further this year than we've ever seen him fall in fantasy football since his rookie
crazy.
year, and it's because people don't know what to do. So I actually have avoided Patrick Mahomes.
I know.
Not that he's not on my list. In the note, if I pull out the notebook, you'll see his name there. But he's a bit lower because if I have to say, for instance, a person I did draft, do I go with a Trevor Lawrence over Patrick Mahomes? Every year of their coincident careers, the answer to that would have been no. This year, the answer is yes, because I at least know going in that Trevor Lawrence is healthy, and I have a expectation that he can play the whole season. I don't have that same Patrick Mahomes expectation, which is why he's fallen a bit lower on my list and most people. But for those that are bold and are willing to take the challenge of Patrick Mahomes, if that works out for you, you might have won the league
I mean,
because if he's
you
your second
passed on him in the
quarterback,
back.
yeah,
You passed on him,
I
and
passed on him
I was like, I don't know. I don't know how because
because
there's a
I'm in
lot
the
of quarterbacks.
back. I'm all the way in the back of the league,
Hell,
so I need two bona fide stars because I'm not gonna have a top 10 quarterback in the case of the in the case
okay.
of the barbershop where I was at number 10. So I said I need two guys who are gonna be playing the whole season, and I don't know. For me, if I am Andy Reid, if I'm the Hunt family, I don't want Patrick Mahomes starting week 1. Even though I know he probably wants to because that's who
Yeah,
Mahomes is. You got $500 million invested in this dude, and
pretty much.
you don't want that to go to waste because you know rushed him out on the field. So I want him to sit because they have an early bye week. I may have mentioned this last week. I I am very comfortable with letting him sit until they come back from bye week. Uh,
Nah,
if I'm the team, if I'm a fantasy person, not even a little bit.
no, I need him to play. We ain't doing none of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I
So
just think at 10, I would have took that chance
yeah.
honestly, and I would have kind of played it to where I could come back around because you seen after that second round,
Mm-hmm.
then skill players went at that point. So you could have really rolled that train just a little bit longer
Mm-hmm.
and really went and got a quarterback probably the fifth round because
Could
Daniel
have.
Jones was there. I didn't
He
get
was
Daniel
there.
Jones in the sixth round, so
But
could have waited
but
honestly.
to the Carlos question though, what do I expect for Trevor Lawrence? I expect big numbers for him. I think,
Yeah,
but between his arm and his legs, he can give you a lot of fantasy. And I said I don't really put a whole bunch of stock into the rushing quarterback like a lot of
yeah.
people do. I don't automatically jump those guys to the top of my list. But
Hmm.
the one thing that Trevor Lawrence does that I love is what Jalen Hurts does, and it's what Josh Allen does. It's not so much the yards I'm concerned with. He gets rushing touchdowns, and
That's true.
I take rushing touchdowns over rushing yards any day of the week because that's a guaranteed 6 points that I'm putting on my team. So I expect big numbers from Trevor. I expect him. He has I, he has an issue like I feel about Jordan Love with I don't know who the top receiver is on on the Jaguars. I think
I
it
do.
should be Brian Thomas
Jacoby,
Jr.
it
because
should be.
only because of his body makeup.
Yeah.
He is built to be a number one wide receiver. I think Jacoby Myers is built to be a number two. However, if you
Oh,
go
but
off the last few years, Jacoby
he's a
Myers
better
has
guy.
been a one. He's a better. I think he's a. I don't know these guys, so I don't like to maybe pretend to know something I don't. But I feel like Jacoby Myers works harder at being a wide
See,
receiver because he doesn't have all those physical gifts that a Brian Thomas Jr. has. And so, as the number one wide receiver with the Raiders, Jacoby Myers put up numbers, and that's why the
Hmm.
Jaguars are willing to put him up because he puts in the work. He has the skill set to give you numbers. So if I'm going to go off effort, I would say yes. I 100% think it's Jacoby Myers, like you do. If I go off my Al Davis, just looking at a physical specimen of a guy, Brian Thomas should be that dude. I don't
I
know
think
whether he
I
will be.
I think if you look at Jacoby Myers when he got to Jacksonville
Yeah,
last year, he went
he
off
came
as
in and
soon as
did
he got there,
work.
and I
Yeah,
think he built a connection with Trevor Lawrence. That's why I don't understand why they saying Washington is
yeah.
going to be the number one
P,
guy.
he's a
Parker Washington
PPR
shouldn't
guy.
be.
He
He
shouldn't.
is, but I
Yeah.
don't see that though. I don't.
He had
I see.
he had some games that made people think, but
I don't know about
consistently
that.
from beginning to end, I don't see someone dethroning. But that's why I say I can't really make out because I could say it should be Parker Washington. He's got the youth on his side. He should be a PPR monster. It could be
Hmm.
Jacoby Myers because he's just does to do that. Could be
I'm
Brian
going.
Thomas Jr. just because I don't know why Brian Thomas Jr. was so bad last year. Welcome
Well, I'm gonna
Atlanta
tell you
Flat Football, by the way, to the
what's
show.
going on.
Cousin Lowe, we got that comedy club draft I mentioned at the top of the show. Nita bought out, so looking forward to winning that
Well,
league.
you got to realize Brian Thomas didn't have the connection with
Yeah,
Lawrence. He had a
he didn't.
connection with Mac Jones. So that's the difference. Mac
Yeah,
Jones and him had a connection, not with Trevor Lawrence. And I
yeah,
think Trevor Lawrence got a better connection with Jacoby Myers. So even with Brian Thomas, I don't know what happened to Brian Thomas.
yeah.
I have no
He
clue
fell
how
off
he
the
just fell off
planet.
like that.
Yeah,
But he got to do something this year. But I think really it's going to be Jacoby Myers. I think Jacoby Myers. But if you asking me from a receiving core, I think he got a great receiving core if
yeah.
all of them
They're all
actually come to
good.
play. Yes.
I don't know if anyone's a legit one though, and that's my own, and
No
sometimes it
legit
doesn't
one.
matter. Uh, but we'll see.
Well, Jordan Love is the same. Like you say, Jordan
Yeah.
Love is the same way. But I think his, if I had to put that receiving core against Green Bay's receiving core,
Who's
I'm
better?
thinking Jacksonville receiving
Okay.
core over there because Christian Watson's always hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, just keeping a buck, he is.
I'm,
Uh,
I can't argue with
Romeo Dobbs is gone, so that means Golden is gonna have to step up. Matthew Golden gonna have to step up, and then I forgot who the second one
Jaden
is.
Reed.
Jaden Reed, and Jaden Reed is always hurt too.
Well, he
So
last year he was always hurt. That hasn't been his mo before that.
okay,
But yeah, but last year, yeah, it was a
but if you
disaster.
asking me as far as who I'm taking, Brian Thomas Jr. and that whole group
And,
over
and,
there over
and we
them,
didn't even mention Travis Hunter, who will be
but I don't think he's gonna play
going in at
receiver.
wide receiver at
Honestly,
some points.
so
Maybe.
I think he's gonna be on the defensive end
Yeah.
99% of the time this year because he's not. To me, he shouldn't play the. They got too many receivers
Look, that's
as
why
it
he got
is.
swole. So
I
he
think
should
I
no.
think that I can see. I don't see him playing both sides
Yeah.
every game like that.
I
I can see him sprinkling in every now and then. You put
mm,
him in, and you might get 4 or 5. He might get 4 or 5, maybe 5 to 10 plays of playing receiver, and everything else is on the defensive end. That's what I would do just to keep him fresh.
I have him on, and this is what I said last year. I have him playing primarily defense. Put him in on special teams if you want, just to get the
Bro,
ball
let
in
me tell
his
you
hand
something.
because he's that talented. And
If you
then, like you
put
said, you
him,
have a couple of gadget plays that you might not even pull out every week, but every
yeah,
once in a while you pull out this gadget play and throw him in on offense. But yeah,
I'm telling you, if you put him at punt return, at kick return, really mainly punt return. I wouldn't even really go as far as kick return.
yeah,
But mainly, but if he's at punt
yeah,
return,
punt return definitely.
oh my gosh, he's a weapon at punt return. It's like you got to use him at punt return. I don't understand why they don't use him there. I would definitely, with his speed, I would
Exactly.
put him at punt return in a
I
heartbeat
want the ball in his hands somehow.
at
If
all
I'm an
times.
offensive coordinator, I'm coming up with a way. If I'm the special teams guy, I'm coming up with a Travis Hunter plan. I just got to have the ball in his hands at some points in the
Well,
season,
do you?
just to
Well, let
see
me
what
ask
he
you: Do you
does.
play him? Do you play him in a four receiver set? Then, if that's the case, if they go four
Like I
receivers, do
said,
you play him in that
not
set?
Well, if I'm playing four, then yes, but I don't pull that out on a regular basis. It's I don't want to say it's only my desperation move, but
Mm.
it's very conditional to me because, like I
But
said,
don't
I
most
think
teams
yeah,
go for receivers nowadays? So they go for receivers nowadays
not every
anyway.
play.
I mean,
Not,
not every play, but when
yeah,
you're in that
yeah,
third down and 8, somewhere around there, or you
yeah,
need
for
10
long,
yards for
yeah, but
long plays. But yeah, I don't
uh,
know. I would try to get him in that because you can't put him if you got Brad Thomas Jr., Washington, and Jacoby Myers. You can't play him in the
yeah,
three receiver set. You
no,
can't. There's no way you can play him there unless you put him at tailback and let him run some outs from there. But I don't see that working either. So
he did a
that's
little
another
bit of
thing.
that in college.
But
He
that's
did a
what I'm
little
saying. So
bit,
if you
yeah,
put him in the backfield, a double backfield set, and you swing him out left and right, put him back there for that. Just you got to get him on the field because he's an athlete. That's
yeah,
the thing. He's an athlete that you just got to play, and you got to find somewhere to put him. Now it's gonna be hard when you got those three receivers that you already counting on to do well, unless one
right.
of them just fall off the face of the earth. So it's just at the end of the day, I just feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We gonna find out, but however they work it out, I hope it works well for Trevor Lawrence because I have him
Yeah,
in my two most important leagues, and by important, I mean payout, biggest
yeah.
payouts. So
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
I need work. I need work for him.
Because somebody came over to me, they was like, Rodney, is he still playing wide receiver? Oh, yes, he is. Don't you worry about it. Go ahead.
Mm.
Well, I'm about to go draft him. Okay. So you telling me this? I should have got up and drafted
You got I know right before you.
him.
All right,
Nah, but I ain't want him though. So
so before I preview the coming
mhm.
week, any other comments, questions on the two drafts that we had this weekend? Things you saw that you think our viewers should know about for their own drafts.
Man, I would just say any draft, just go in there with your own plan. I mean, as the great producer would say, she has a no
No,
plan. So
she's famous for the no plan plan.
she has a no plan, so she go in there and she just drafts. Like over the years, I mean, I've told the story before, but I used to come in with a magazine. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I always came with a magazine. I would have my magazine and chalk stuff down, and I never went off the magazine, but I would just kind of guide
Yeah.
myself through the magazine. I don't even do that no more. I just straight. I don't even. I do. I may do one mock draft, but like most of the time, I my knowledge of playing fantasy football is already there. So I really just go off the players that I want and that that I like. And I got a list, and I just go off of that. I never go off the consensus of this player should be number one because I don't believe that. I believe that it's based off the points of your league and it's based off like everything else and how everything works. So it's players that you'll find. It's always that one or two diamond in the rough that you're gonna find
Mm-hmm.
that you're gonna put in your lineup and just can't take them out at that point. No matter who you want to put in there, that guy's gonna do work for you every week. So I just say go in there with your own plan. Don't go in there trying to stick to somebody else's plan or somebody. You can listen to us all day long, but you still got to build your own plan on how you want to draft at the end of the day. So
Okay. Well, we got things coming up. You got any? I know I have a few drafts coming this weekend. Do you have any
yeah,
this
two more.
weekend other than the
Uh,
SMFL? And
I got
then you got
we got
and then Tron's is
tranche.
later. That's like the
That's on
day before.
Tuesday. Tuesday. I think it's a Tuesday
Not
this
this
year.
Tuesday. It can't be this Tuesday.
No, no, it's a Tuesday this year.
Okay.
Normally it's on a Wednesday because
Okay.
I'm
Got
normally
yeah, because you're
drafting
doing it on the show
on the
typically.
show. Yeah, but it's a Tuesday this year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, which is great. I ain't got to be on the show drafting. So, but I will say it's been good luck the last time because I'll be
It
drafting.
works, right?
It works. So, but nah, it's a Tuesday. But those are the last two I got, honestly.
Okay.
And I'm going on vacation Friday. So I
All
don't care.
right.
So
All right. Here's my question
who
for
knows?
you.
Yes.
Tomorrow night,
Mm-hmm.
Raiders 49ers in the preseason.
It don't
Anything?
mean nothing. Don't mean we gonna lose anyway
You're
because
gonna
we playing backups. So I don't think
yeah,
we playing no
most
starters.
people are. Any so does that mean there's none of these games that are coming up? We got games Thursday, we got games
Mhm.
Friday, we got games Saturday. nothing you're looking to see at this point. Have you collected
Um,
enough information, primarily on the rookies that are in the league, that
I
you
would say
got all the info you need for your drafts?
I would say yes. Only because a lot of the main rookies, the Connell Takes of the world, the Bostons, the KC Conceptions, those guys, even like Jeremiah Love, those guys are not playing
Yeah.
because a lot of these games are based on players that's trying to make the team one last chance. I mean, no disrespect to these guys, but a lot of these guys will be working at Target somewhere, or Walmart somewhere, or somewhere not in the NFL,
Right.
or they're gonna land up on a practice squad somewhere, or they're gonna go to the AFL or XFL, somewhere just not in the NFL. So they playing for a spot. Or some of them may be fighting to, like quarterback wise, some may be fighting to get traded to another team, playing just to see another team. Because all 32 teams are watching to see what players they can snatch up on the waiver wire when these guys get cut. Because that's the name of the game. While trade with you when you're gonna get cut. So I say just it's for guys that's trying to make that final
Yeah.
bubble spot, and they trying to get there. So I'm gonna watch just because I'm a fan of
It's
football. But
football. So,
yeah, but a lot of guys ain't gonna play though. So
yeah. Well, a
just
lot of
is Mendoza playing?
uh, they had him play the whole first half, the last game. I would expect him to play. I haven't heard anything saying he's
Why?
not.
I wouldn't play
I
Mendoza.
mean, because Mendoza is the future.
Yeah,
I like the idea of him getting as much playtime as he can when it doesn't matter. Because I said before, I hope Kirk Cousins has the game the whole season until maybe the last 3 games, and then they say, okay, get out there, Mendoza, have some fun. Because I don't think the Raiders are going to be good. Why
I mean
would they
that's
be?
wishful thinking, but
Yeah,
okay.
and so
I don't think it's gonna
I
happen.
don't want to see Mendoza. I want
You
him
gonna
to
see him
sit.
though?
I want to see him at the end of the season. I don't want to
I
see
don't
him
think
before
so.
then because I want him to sit and learn. The thing that I always say folks should do with
Hmm.
quarterbacks that they're always too impatient to do. I'm
Yes.
hoping that we see it happen with the Raiders. But
So, how many games before we see Mendoza, in your opinion? If just take
I,
aside Kirk Cousins, you want him to play the
well,
whole year.
I
But in
hope
reality,
at
how many games
minimum
do
I
you?
hope 12.
Ooh, I
At
don't think it's
minimum,
12.
I hope it's 12. I
I don't
actually
think
hope
you
it's
get
more than
12.
that.
But I
I
don't think you get that.
I let look.
So, I don't think you get that. I
I
think.
hate the idea that it might be until the Raiders are eliminated from the playoffs because that's going to happen
Mm,
soon. I say this.
yeah,
I think the Raiders are going to be better than they were a year ago, but if the Raiders win 8 games, even I would be astonished.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say because we gotta do bold predictions too. So
Not
I'm
today.
gonna go. No, no, no. I'm just
Yeah,
saying. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and just say, well, I don't know, man, because that's just based off what Kirk Cousins has done
he
the
hasn't been good.
last 2 years. He's been
But the Raiders aren't
horrible.
good. Look, Trey
I
Tucker.
mean, that's a bad mix there.
I got into a conversation with someone. I don't know if it was you or someone else. That I said Trey Tucker's the best wide receiver. Someone said Jalen Naylor. Uh, Either way, I'm not. I don't.
I
The
mean,
Raiders
I
aren't
don't
good
understand.
other than Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty, who now talk about praying to the gods. I
Yeah.
hope he is fine.
Oh
They
my
now they
God.
said just a sprained ankle, but
Yeah.
they don't have enough talent on the Raiders. I feel to put Mendoza out there to look bad. I don't want him to get David Card.
I don't think you're gonna get David Carr.
He could very much
I
get
think that
David Card.
he could, but I think the issue is because y'all don't have. I don't think y'all have a number two receiver. Y'all might be having
We
some
don't have a
threes.
one. What are you talking about?
No, what I'm saying is because
Yeah.
Jalen, like you have a projected one on the roster who's going to be a number one. That's probably Trey Tucker, who's going to be the quote unquote
I
number
did
one
pick up
receiver.
Trey Tucker in one league, and I was surprised
I
somebody beat
seen
me
that.
to it in another one. I was like, okay, didn't see that coming.
I mean, they know something you know that, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. But he's the de facto number one receiver.
I
But
guess.
really, in reality, he's like a number three, like
Yeah.
on anybody
He's no
else's
better than
team.
a 3. I agree.
Yeah. So when you think about it, the problem is you don't have a number one receiver. So I get what you're saying, Mendoza not actually being on the field, but at some point, Kirk Cousins is gonna play bad. We just know that. Kirk Cousins has been really bad for the last 2 years.
Then you put on the great AOC, Aiden
No.
O'Connell. Hey,
And there you go with that again. You cannot
notorious.
push it. No.
He won. Hey, did he
No.
not win the game last week?
He did, but it's fourth stringers. Them
Yeah.
guys gonna be working at the parking lot
But he
somewhere.
has the heart of a champion.
And that's good to have, but I'm just saying.
Hey,
And that
hey, did
he
he
don't
not
play it against
look? Did
fourth
he
stringers.
not beat the Kansas City Chiefs throwing like 3
Bro,
passes?
would you please stop? Come on, like what are we doing here? I'm,
Hey,
I'm just saying, y'all need to get some receivers.
yeah, we
Which
need a squad. Yeah,
I mean, all y'all need is one. Trey Tucker can be your three. Y'all need
we need to.
two where? I mean,
Yeah, in the draft
unless
next year
uh,
and the year after that.
everybody keep talking about that 27 draft. I want to see how well this draft gonna be because I'm anxious to see. They supposed to be 5 and 6 quarterbacks in this draft, receivers. It's supposed to be crazy. We gonna see
We
because
gonna
they hyping this thing up really bad. So I don't know. So we'll see.
all right.
But that's all we got, man.
But that's it for tonight. Thanks everybody that was with us. Uh, if you haven't already, I hope you have already by now. Hit the like and hit the subscribe.
Right,
Uh,
please.
we got 13 days left until actual NFL action. So you got less than 2 weeks to get your fantasy football squads together. If we can be of help to you in that time, make sure you hit us up on social media. Make sure you hit us in the comments and let us know what we can do to make this season work best for you. Wednesday nights, we'll be here at 9 o'clock. Hope to see you again. Peace.